Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. What if Night 310 here? This story was written by Oshra's Transmigrate. Again, sorry if I cannot pronounce that name. Tell me if I am mispronouncing in the comments if you know. Okay, let's get right into it. Previously, he had a score to settle with the Raikage about what he did 4 years ago, forcing an unwilling participant in the marriage. Give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I get mixed up and was on the wrong chapter. Okay, the duel. Previously, with the Akatsuki leader's whole hologram vanishing, the real self walked off to plan evil and destruction in his former village. Sasuke would be there too. 3 days later. It was Saturday morning. Naruto jumped out of bed, putting on his best suit. It was time to fight the Raikage. After slipping into his cloak, he stroked his roughly handsome face while looking in the hotel room's mirror, smiling. He took off like a jet, all the way to the Raikage's office, cloak fluttering in the wind. He knocked on the door, slightly nervous, yet excited for the prospect of putting his skills against the Kage. "Are you sure about this, Naruto?" Jiraiya asked. "I know he's an old-fashioned man. I will have to ask him if I can have his blessing for Yugito's hand in marriage after the duel, despite us being engaged already," Naruto explained as Ace stepped out of the room. "As I see, you're ready. Let's go," the Raikage said, walking the master-student pair to the arena. Crowds were gathering there, expecting a huge beatdown of Naruto. However, some have heard the stories and sided with Naruto. Surprisingly, Jiraiya body flickered to the booth to observe the match, allowing B and Matatabi, who was the proctor. This is a match for Uzumaki Naruto to get the Raikage's blessing for his marriage in Ni Yugito. Hajime, Manabe announced. The counselors gasped. The demon bitch was alive. Well, she wouldn't be married. She wouldn't be married if she depended on some kid who couldn't beat the Raikage. Both participants disappeared in a flurry of speed, surprising the audience. Loud booms restored where blows connected all over the arena. Then they repaired a panted slightly. "You're not bad, kid, but if you really love Yukito, I'd suggest you get serious. You'll never get my blessing until you beat me. Though, luck, my friend." Naruto clenched his fist. "For Yugito, I will scale mountains, swim across oceans, and travelers travel 1,000 continents. You're nothing." Disappearing in a short burst, he slammed his fist into the Raikage's stomach, only for it to be blocked narrowly by A's hand, which swiped down. However, the blow still caused the Raikage to fly back to the other end of the arena, shocking the crowd. "This kid," some of the Kumo Jonin thought. Tisk. "I see you took my suggestion to heart," Ace said, before dashing at high speeds to the blonde, in intent on returning the favor. Naruto, bright blue eyes warped into a familiar pattern before fluidly sidestepping the Raikage. A turned around quickly, charging back at him. The two began engaging in unarmed combat, each blow sounding like an explosion to the crowd. In the end, Naruto sent the Raikage back with a stare from his divine eyes. The proposalant force flung A back, unrooting surrounding trees as well. A dug his feet into the ground, keeping his balance. "Reichin, Jibashi," A shouted, sending a wave of high voltage rated chakra towards Naruto. Naruto replied with "Futon Deiba. The Raikage smiled as he avoided it before rushing towards Naruto. Once again, they clashed, destroying the terrain with their violent motion. A dry smirk, knowing Naruto had only used taijutsu and a bit of ninjutsu. Suddenly, a naked blade caught the light, blinding A and the audience temporarily. Seriously, a series of flashes, and the Raikage was wounded. He growled. The white stripes were still visible in the air, uh, ev- evidence of the Tauntaun's movement. In that moment of blindness, Naruto grinned. He hadn't spent many days polishing and sharpening the blade for nothing then. You leave me no choice, boy, he said, emitting copious amounts of Raishin chakra which covered his body. Raishin no Yuri, lightning armor. The Raikage disappeared before slugging Naruto right in the stomach. The blonde was thrown back, surprised at the increase in speed. Use your Hiraishin, Minato spoke from the mindscape. I avoided that previous with my Hiraishin. Naruto thought, okay, here goes nothing. When A shouted, Raiton Sujin, lightning strike, rushing to the blonde with his fist down. Many people thought Naruto's fate was sealed. Quickly, Naruto stomped his foot on the floor while letting go of kunai materials in his hand. At the last moment, he flung another kunai at the side. The Kage's eyes widened as his fist came closer. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and Shizune, it's Kirisunto. A joning cried out from the crowd, causing assent from the crowd. A distant, loud noise sounded off as Naruto teleported away, confirming the fear of everyone present, except Jiraiya. The Yodame had a kid who can use the same blasted jutsu. As he uh, appeared at the kunai that was flung away, he teleported back to the kunai that he had let go of now, which was right behind the Raikage. Now, with both kunai in hand, he was in midair behind the Raikage, un- unlinearable back. However, A had been tricked once as well by Minato, so he knew well enough to turn back to face the possible onslaught. He did, but he didn't notice the jutsu sinking on the floor, where Naruto had stomped on earlier. The Raikage was shocked as a flash of yellow appeared right behind him, revealing the smirking Naruto. The blonde did a mule kick, sending A flying 20 meters back, face first in the floor. How, the Raikage thought. Let's turn it up a notch, shall we? Naruto said as he scattered his specialized kunai all over the arena. Orange markings uh, formed at the side of his eyes, while a bear grew at the center of his Sharingan. The Raikage dusted himself off before laughing at the stage. Naruto ducked, nearly releasing that somehow A had increased the power of his armor. As he could now see sparks of lightning jumping around every now and then. Ryorito, Lariat. A shouted as he plotted Naruto with his strong arm. The blonde Jinchuriki was sent spiraling back, having the wind knocked out of him. Naruto hacked and coughed, blood dripping from his mouth. This was pretty hard. That was a pretty hard blow. He thought his ribcage was slowly repairing from the damage. The Raikage shot off towards Naruto. A Raishin charged first arm as the blonde, just when he reached the Jinchuriki, said, person's eyes glowing a bright purple. A was shoved violently back by an invisible force. Naruto Shinra Tensei. The muscular Raikage was thrown back 100 meters. Enough time for Naruto to stand back up and recover from the lariat. A rushed back towards him, only to be kicked up in the sky by a reverse roundhouse kick. Naruto launched several kunai at him, which first merely grazed his skin. However, Naruto teleported to them in mid-air, yelling, "Hiraijin, San no Dan." Grabbing a kunai after teleporting to it, he slashed a. Then he teleported to another and repeated the process with other kunais. All this time, they were 10 meters off the ground. Their feet never once touched it. Finally, Naruto teleported to the one kunai above the blonde Raikage. Spinning around, he backstabbed a, causing him to shoot to the ground. Dust was thrown up. A giant crater was created. Suddenly, there was a loud cracking sound, the sound of lightning. An irritated A climbed out of the crater. Lightning was now sparking everywhere off his ration armor. Shit just hit the fan. A Nissan had to uh, resorted to his final form. "Fool, you fool," bethought. Without a word, the Raikage disappeared and uh, barreled into Naruto, who got flung back a few feet. Reichin Sutara, A yelled, slamming his electrification fist into Naruto's gut. Naruto was too slow to dodge, but his brain wasn't. It was working in overdrive, and at the single moment, the word restored clearly in his mind. "Kamui," Naruto spoke in a rush. His eyes glowed red. Ei's hand, and subsequently the arm, ran through him, passing like water through a sieve. The Raikage was shocked. In his final form, his fastest punch couldn't land on Uzumaki Naruto. "For the one I love, let's end this. Sama." Naruto spoke through his teeth, cloaking Yo 99 got that power. Bro, B-Rap, much to the Raikage's uh, annoyance. Naruto disappeared in a flash. He uh, re- repeated, repaired behind the Kage and kicked him through his foot, slightly stung from the electricity. Slamming his palms together, he opened them, revealing a small gravitational field. Red and blue orbs gathering rapidly, forming a small Bujidama the size of a tennis ball. "Chi mi cho mini Bujidama. Super mini tail beast bomb," Naruto shouted, holding the super compressed Bujidama. Oh man, if that thing was released from Naruto's hands, it would be severely unhealthy for the Raikage, Jiraiya thought. Naruto jumped right into the air and planted the bomb right in his chest. Naruto immediately teleported to the ground, turning back to watch the high compressed tailed beast bomb detonate, releasing a giant explosion which rocked the area. Then the Raikage landed on the floor in a crumbled heap. A grunted but raised a thumbs up, signifying his life was still intact. Naruto walked over to him. "Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life?" Say yes, 'cause I need to know." The Raikage looked at him seriously and whispered, "You had my blessing from the beginning. Protect her well. If you dare ever make her cry, it won't happen, except tears of joy." Naruto cut in. "Good," he said, accepting the hand that the blonde Jinchuriki offered him. Manabe announced, "Uzumaki Naruto wins." The council was seething in rage. The Raikage lost to a Gaki who was much younger than him. Back at the office, "Here's an alliance," Ace said, handing over a scroll. "I expect that we'll be working with each other a lot in the future." "It's my honor, Raikage-sama," Naruto said, bowing. "Bye, Nine. See you next time, fool, you fool." Killer Bee laughed horribly. Naruto gave a small smile. Turning to the Raikage briefly, he said, "Remember what I told you. You told you last time about the council." Walking out the door. "I will," the Raikage smirked. As expected, the council meeting was called after Naruto and Jiraiya had departed from Kumo for home. "Ace-sama, what's the meaning of this? How could you let the demon bitch be? A counselor was speaking when the Buffet-Krabe grabbed him by his collar. One does not simply call Yugito a demon bitch, he said, pausing temporarily to slam the offending piece of flesh in the hand into the wall, killing him immediately without getting butchered by the Raikage. Who's next? The remainder counselors shivered in their state involuntarily. However, the one elder was stupid enough to test his luck. Let me remind you of your power in, the elder said before he was silenced by a bolt of lightning coursing through him, frying his brain. This is a fucking military uh, dictatorship. You shall address me as Raikage-sama or A-sama, or risk ending up like him. The enraged Raikage yelled. I hope I made myself clear. Understood? A shouted. Yes, Raikage-sama, the council murmured, fearing for their lives. I said understood, screamed the Raikage. Hi, Raikage-sama, the council answered quickly. You're dismissed, the Raikage said, turning away towards the door. What they couldn't see on his face was a smirk, plastered on it. Thank you, Uzumaki Naruto. The road to Konoha. Naruto sneezed. Someone must be thinking about me, Gaki Dryati. Someone must be thinking about you, Gaki Dryates. No wonder you didn't. No wonder you didn't sneeze. Naruto replied with a witty comeback. Must be Yugito. I wonder what she's up to, he thought. The Konoha weapon shots. Hey, Tenten-sama. Yugito greeted cheerfully. The girl slouched behind the counter and immediately perked up. What can I do for you, Yugito-sama? Can you guide me to buy a sword? Yugito asked curiously. Alright, what kind do you want? We sell katana, ninjatos, tantos, and chogatos, Tenten said, pointing at the different types. I thinking of extending my reach, as I'm mostly a short-range fighter. Yugito said thoughtfully. How about a katana? A great choice, the weapon girl answered, bringing her to a section of the store. Here's our most prized katana. Choose one, Tenten prompted. This one, Yugito said, pointing to a beautiful blue sword that had black stallion sheath, with dragon carvings on it, while the katana itself had blue Tucson hilt. It had gold diamonds planted into it, while the sheath had a cord of emerald glass beads wrapped around it. Tintin laughed. Good choice, Yugito-sama. The blade is made of Damashi steel, high quality metal with pattern wielding. The sheath is constructed with oak wood from an ancient tree, while the inside is a velvet custard, allowing the sword to draw quickly. It would actually cost a lot of money to purchase, but I will give it to you for free, if you can answer me a question. What? Yugito asked suspiciously. Is it possible to make Naruto bleed? Tenten asked timidly. Yugito looked at her in curiosity. Why would you want to know that? Yes, it is possible, of course, but only for Kage level shinobi. However, I can make Naruto-kun bleed without touching him at all. Oh, tell me, Tenten asked excitedly. It only works for me though. Watch me when he returns, Yugito said devilishly. Alright, here's your sword. I can teach you the Konoha sword style if you like. Tenten replied, handing her the expensive sword. Thanks. See you later in the evening, Yugito said, moving off to set her plan in motion. Going into a clothes store, she bought a yellow sundress, a hat, and a blue blazer. Then she got a length of green robe to act as a short store of belt. Going to Yamanaka store, she proceeded to buy a white yarrow, which symbolized everlasting love, and also in complete her hair well, complemented her hair well. After storing the items at home, she left for training with Tintin uh, secretly. She combined it with the Kuma sword style, creating a new style with the best of both worlds. 4 days later, Naruto and Jiraiya approached the gates. At the same time, Yugito had put on her dress, blonde and hat, blouse and hat, tying the rope around her waist. She inserted her sword um, in between the two lobes, uh, securing it. After putting the flower in her hair and wearing sunglasses, she stepped out the compound and headed towards Ichiraku Ramen to have lunch. Um, Naruto-kun here killed the members of the Akatsuki, except Madara, Itachi, and Sasuke, Jiraiya said, before asking the Anbu to leave. And only reason why Itachi survived is because he's my spy. As for Sasuke, we didn't encounter him during the mission. Um, Good job, Tsunade praised. I've even got no lines with Kumo, Naruto said, handing over the scroll. Then Tsunade scowled. I heard about your duel with the Raikage. Don't you ever do anything like that to worry me, you hear? Tsunade yelled, sending a chakra fist in Naruto's direction. His eyes morphed and temporarily he became in ring, entangled, intertanglable with the power of the Kyuubi. The fist passed right through him. How through much to the anger of Tsunade. The hell those eyes, Tsunade commented, slightly blasted by her own curiosity. It was for Yugito, Naruto answered calmly. I understand, Tsunade said. She knew Naruto would do anything in the world for Yugito. You're dismissed. However, Jiraiya isn't. Stay here and explain. Naruto laughed and walked off, while Jiraiya cried anime tears, having to deal with the wrath of the legendary sucker. Can't wait to see Yugito, but first Naruto thought, rubbing his belly. Ramen. He dashed at top speed towards his favorite stand in the world. 15 bowls of Ichiraki Yo Tenchiji. Uh, Give me 15 bowls of miso ramen, Naruto shouted as he lifted the flap stand covering and sat down. At the moment, he noticed a mysteriously beautiful stranger sitting at the right. She was wearing a blue blazer with a yellow sundress underneath. The sundress showed off her creamy legs and smooth arms. Her hair was pale blonde that looks slightly familiar, and it was flowered down her back. Also, she wore a hat and sunglasses to obscure her eyes. Hey, have I seen you around? Naruto asked, trying to start a conversation. A smirk uh, played on this person's lips as she turned his face to reveal a generous part of her cleavage. I wish you did earlier, she floated in a silky voice. Naruto blushed as the girl removed her hat. A head full of beautiful blonde hair showed itself, along with a flower that complemented the color. She smiled at his reaction and grabbed both his cheeks with her hands. She slammed her lips into his with full force, surprising him. Now Naruto wasn't No, Naruto wasn't a perv, but getting kissed by a super beautiful girl wasn't helping the blonde uh, trickle down his nose. Go back up. Then he thought this was wrong. Naruto immediately freed herself from her grasp and said, "Please don't do that again. I already have a girlfriend." I warned I warned Yugito's heart to know he was so loyal to her despite all that this person had done to seduce him. Uh, can I look? Can I do it again if I'm your girlfriend? Yugito asked rhetorically, putting off her sunglasses. Black eyes met blue eyes. Their lips met once again with passion, in a revel- reunion of lovers. For a distance further away, Tintin turned away from the lovers, giving them privacy. Well, technically, Yugito had caused Naruto bleed without touching him in a way with that meant harm. She grumbled about being cheated of the sword, but a deal was a deal. Back in the stand, 17 bowls of ramen were placed on the table for their two favorite customers. Both Naruto and Yugito whispered, Itamaki Sumu, before tearing into their meals like their ramen stand wouldn't exist tomorrow. Little did they know how true it was. When the ground started quaking, the sound of battle coming from the gates, Naruto looked at Yuto, who stared right back at him. Giving each other a brief look, they sped towards the sound after paying. Nice katana, Yugito-chan, Naruto said as they dashed to the Kamontin. Yugito gave a thumbs up and by the way, you look good with your hair down, he whispered, uh, illustrating a blush from his uh, belly. Naruto's face twisted into a scowl as he saw a certain of a yeah, commotion was. Killing Kona Kanen was Uchiha, Sasuke, and Madara. That's the end of chapter 35. Now to chapter 36. The Leaf's destruction. Previously, killing Kumanen were Sasuke and Uchiha Madara. Naruto gritted his teeth. Uchiha Sasuke, you're under arrest, he yelled, springing string for the traitor. Madara gave an amused smirk. Looks like your old friend is here. I'll leave you to deal with him for now. I'll destroy Konoha. Then he disappeared. Yugito whispered, I'll go with Kakashi-senpai to track him down before body flickering away. Sasuke said, I look forward to testing my skill against you, dope. Withdrawing his Chikunto, he dashed and slashed Naruto with when they met. The blow was parried by a flash of light before Naruto jumped away. Katen Goku no Jutsu, a giant fireball shot from Sasuke's mouth heading towards Naruto. Responded with Suton Shijutsugu. Water formed as a shield around Naruto, giving him time to yell to the civilians, get away. They nodded dumbly and ran away. When he turned back, Sasuke was charging towards him, Sharingan blazing. He engaged Naruto in Taijutsu and Kenjutsu, which was quite frustrating as Naruto didn't even activate his dojo yet and still could deflect the Uchihas in interference style with ease. At that moment, Sasuke noticed an opening and went for it. His Chogoto, it seemed to have hit Naruto until gray flames blazed off the sword away. What's the? Sasuke asked before he was flung back violently by Naruto's Shinara Tensei. Now let the real match begin, Naruto shouted, his eyes glowing with a divine power. Sasuke got up and morphed his eyes into the Mangekyo. His left eye began bleeding. Naruto remembered the fateful day during the retrieval mission at the Valley of the End and knew what was coming. Amaterasu, both shouted, though Sasuke didn't hear Naruto over the sound of his shouting. Black flames rolled together, each other surprising the Uchiha. Naruto, however, knew that Sasuke must have used the Amaterasu much more times than him. He knew that Sasuke's flames would definitely beat his. Sasuke laughed when he saw the black flames mixing, then healed, heading towards Naruto. Naruto didn't break a sweat as he withdrew a scroll, opening it. He shouted, Funojutsu, Fubu Hanton, Funojutsu, fire suppression. A chakra vapor shot out of the scroll, engulfing the black flames. Then the vapor, along with the flames, entered the certain of the scroll, showing the kanji words for seal. Sasuke growled. Naruto grinned. Any fire technique was useless against this Funajutsu. Chidori, Sasuke screamed, charging towards Naruto with his lightning-covered fist. The great flames once again rose up around Naruto protectively. Sasuke's eyes widened, finally recognizing what that was. Bones were uh, bones grew like ribcage around the lawn, uh, followed by arms and hands. Kona wa Susanoo, Sasuke asked incredulously as he was backhanded by said ethereal begin. He forgot to activate his own, resulting in a triple facepalm. One from Sasuke and another from Naruto, which was the mirrored by the black Susanoo. Purple flames burst out from the ground. Blue below Sasuke, forming a similar shape as Naruto. Die, Sasuke yelled, forming a bow. The arrow shot off towards Naruto, who calmly said no, thrusting his hands out. Naruto uh, responded, Shinra Tensei. The purple arrow flew back, skewering Sasuke Susanoo right in the chest. Then, running towards him, Naruto followed up with Furojutsu Kin. The chakra from the purple Susanoo was sucked into Naruto's chakra system, causing it to disappear. A weird Sasuke. Any last words? Naruto looked at him uh, downed from Sasuke, who was exhausted from extensive use of Mangekyou Sharingan. Yeah, how are you that strong, dope? Sasuke demanded. Naruto chuckled. Touch, because I fight to protect my precious people. You fight to avenge someone long dead. That is why my team. Uh, that is why I always win. Sasuke nodded, grimly accepting his fate. Immediately death. Naruto then said, Tsukuyomi Uchiha Sasuke, Totsu no Shuno Totsuka Blade. A giant snake ground gourd manifested itself. Susanoo left hand pulled on the top, causing suck to spill um, out of it from the form of a blade. Naruto then pierced Sasuke with the blade, making the traitorous Uchiha scream. Then his soul and body were sucked into the blade, along with the blade. After collapsing, capping it, Sasuke was officially stuck in a Genjutsu world for all eternity, never to exist in the world again. The sacred ground disappeared with the Susanoo. And Naruto sighed. It was time to face Uchiha Madara. Suddenly, his eyes became painful, very painful. Clutching them, he thought, what the hell is happening? Some dirt? He screamed to the nearest pound of water, intent on washing his eyes. Then he noticed, in his Sharingan there was 6 Toma instead of 3. The pain subsided and memories came to him. Memories of new jutsu that have done them already. He would have to inform them later. For now, he had a battle to fight somewhere else in the village. Multiple Anbu Ajin were fighting off Madara. Though many were killed, only Yugito and Kakashi were holding their own, despite them never being able to hit him. Desperately, Yugito flashed her chakra, the Taijutsu Shiriki, in her right flated to life, and in the next moment, Naruto teleported to the scene. Kakashi said, "We can't seem to hit him, not even land a single blow." Naruto raised an eyebrow, seeing the Sharingan in his right eye hole. The mask, the blonde snapped his fingers. Hey, it's Kamui that he's using, Naruto explained before elaborating. It can be It's used from the right eye. So how do we get him? Kakashi asked. There didn't seem to be a way to hit him. Well, when I do it, I know I have to be conscious that I'm doing it. It's the scentless. It doesn't automatically activate. Commonly, when something tries to hit him, for example, if I want to walk through the door, I can't just walk through it and expect that commonly to work by itself. I have to think commonly. Then I walk through the door without opening it. Naruto explained. Okay, I get it, but how does that help? Kakashi asked frantically as another Anbu was dis- uh, dispatched. Well, your hands can't hit uh, what your eyes can't see, Naruto said, smiling to himself as he planned to use his new jutsu. Same theory if he does how he's being attacked. He can't know when to use Kamui. Also, the integrability only lasts 5 minutes at once. Go before requesting a significant rest period. So all you have to do is to engage him and distract him when he tries to hit you. He'll have to deactivate Kamui. That's when my new jutsu comes into play, Naruto finished. Okay, let's go, Kakashi Senpai, Yukito said, dashing off towards Madara. Immediately, they engaged him for 5 minutes, not allowing him to deactivate Kamui without hurting himself. You little Madara grunted as his 5 minutes were up. Kamui has deactivated, and he was struck by Yukito's katana. However, 5 minutes of relentless non-stop attacking did leave the Jinchuriki and the Kappinen exhausted. Naruto-kun, now's your chance, Yukito said, collapsing to a knee for support. He nodded and took off like a speeding bullet towards Madara. Eat this, Naruto yelled. Sorry about that. Naruto yelled, assaulting Madara with a barrage of blows with Susanoo first activated. The Uchiha, however, could block it as necessary. He was not all, yeah, at all winded, considering all he did was use Kamui for the past 5 minutes. Naruto sprang back, his eyes glowing both purple and red. Rindo Hataki, Limbo, border jail, Naruto whispered. Suddenly, Madara doubled over. Uh, he he was then caught by an invisible fist to the face, sending him flying back. Yukito, who had her Sharingan activated, could see what had happened. Unlike Kakashi, who had a puzzled look on his face, basically Naruto sent shadows of or clones into a dimension called Limbo. These shadows were invisible and could attack for or defend the user. They were only visible to the sage and Rinnegan wielders. Take this, phony, Naruto yelled. Madara was uppercutted by another invisible fist. This man uh, crumbled to nothingness. When Madara sat up, Kakashi's jaw dropped. It was not Madara, but Uchiha Obito, his old friend, who was supposed to be dead. You know him, Kakashi senpai? Naruto asked. Back when I was in Team 7 with your father as sensei, he was my teammate. During the battle at Kokonobi Bridge, we were supposed to destroy it when our teammate Rin was caught by the enemy. When we rescued her in a cave, it started to collapse. To save me, Obito shoved me out of the way. A giant slab of rock, but was crushed by it as a result. Um, as we were strong enough to lift the rock, as we weren't strong enough to lift the rock, Obito decided that he was going to die, so he gave me his Sharingan, the one I now possess in my left socket. When the whole came finally collapsed, we thought that he was dead. Obito began to laugh. The real Uchiha Madara, who was quite old at the time, saved me. He told me of the Eye of the Moon plan, and it was asked to execute it in his place. Also, I gave My Rinnegan. He gave me the Rinnegan, Obito said, pointing to his left eye. The right side of his face was badly crushed and testament to his uh, ordeal at the cave. Uh, friendly friend killer Kakashi. I'll never forgive you for killing Rin, Obito yelled. Naruto gave the silver-haired Nin an unspoken look. He made me promise him on that day that I would protect Rin with my life. On another mission, Rin was ambushed by Kirinin, who captured her to make her the Shibuki Jinchuriki. When I rescued her, I realized that they wanted us to return to Konoha so they could somehow release the Sunbi, uh, thereby causing destruction. The Kirinin chased us back towards Konoha, so as not to raise suspicion um, about their actual objective. As I had already figured out their plan, I turned back to attack them. I was about to use Chidori on one of them when Rin jumped in front of him to kill herself so that Konoha wouldn't be destroyed, Kakashi explained. Obito sneered. The fantasy way to a woman's heart. Uh, the fastest way to a woman's heart. Chidori. Even yakking, I'll show what real power is. Konocho Jito Mozo. Summoning. Demonic statue of Quarter Pain. A creature of titanic size burst from the ground. From the way its limbs were moved, it was actually a statue. That's the Jubi, Kurama spoke fearfully. Naruto steeled himself as the creature roared. It had 9 eyes, of which 5 were open. Kurama analyzed and said, Naruto-kun, I sense my brothers and sisters in there. I think every time they seal one of my siblings inside the statue, an eye opens. So far, there have been 5 Buji that were sealed, which is the same number of eyes that are open. Naruto nodded. So, when all eyes open, the Jubi is awakened. Hi. Obito, who was on top of the statues, yelled, Beware, um, beware the Tinichi cataclysm. The air around was sucked into the gigantic creature's mouth, um, including the nearby shop houses. Suddenly, the earth began shaking as the lightning and thunder began striking the ground, ripping it apart. The air was sucked and earlier was released as tornadoes which destroyed the landscape. At that moment, blue and red orbs gathered in its mouth, forming a purple spear. Naruto-kun, get away! Kurama yelled. Naruto had an idea. Uh, Shira, eh, Shirada Kawaii no Kaya, he yelled, launching a bazooka at the Buji Dama with his arms. That destroyed the Buji Dama prematurely in its space, causing it to roar in pain. Obito was blasted off its head with full force, causing him to drop down with a loud impact. The shape appeared. A new man had entered the ruins of Konoha. He had dark black hair and was wearing red armor, with a gunbai strapped to his back. Though a lock of hair covered his right eye, his left eye was clearly visible. An eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. This man was the real Uchiha Madara. Yubito, you've had your fun. Let me have my share. Madara spoke, indicating that fun was the last thing on mind. Tsunade appeared at the scene with a few Ambu. And when she saw Madara, she growled, Uchiha Madara. My name is Tsunade Han. How you've grown. Are you the current Hokage? Madara asked, casually chuckling. Yes, and you are not under any circumstance, uh, circumstance destroying the village. Tsunade snapped, "Well, well, Kotan Gaton Mekia Firestyle, Majestic Flame Destroyer," Madara shouted, firing a blast of white hot flames at the ground. Kotan Gotomitsu, Firestyle, Majestic Demolisher Flames. Naruto contri- uh, countered immediately, much to Madara's surprise. "Oh, who are you, uh, a young one, to know that jutsu counterpart?" Madara asked curiously. "My name is Uzumaki Naruto, and you are dead," Naruto replied. "And Uzumaki, eh?" Briefly remembering the girl named Uzumaki Mito, who married Hirashirama, Madara recalled. Then the state being rampaging the rest of Konoha destroyed it by various means. Naruto, Tsunade, and Madara began engaging in taijutsu. Madara was being an equal, a first for Naruto. Yugito, Kakashi, and the other Anbu went to stop the beast. Shin Futon, Rasen Shuriken, true wind style, Rasen Shuriken, Naruto announced, throwing the jutsu straight at Madara. It caught him square in the chest, carrying him up into the sky. The other present marveling at the jutsu when it exploded into a giant ball of wind, with Madara in it, certain cut by countless wind blades. When the spear of wind disappeared, Madara, who was nowhere to be found until ashes on the floor began reforming into him. Uh, inten- Interesting. I look forward to fighting you in the war in a few months. Time with jutsu like this, Madara said, strolling towards the unconscious body of Obito. "What war?" Naruto asked surprisingly. Madara chuckled darkly. "You'll see, the Fourth Shinobi World War." Then he disappeared. With the other Uchiha and Gido Monzo sank back into the ground a kilometer away, where the Anbu were attacking it. Tsunade shivered at Madara's words. No one wanted war, but it was happening. Naruto looked around. The whole village had been leveled. Shops destroyed, they had to rebuild it again. It was worse than Otan Shunen's invasion. It was not just the district, but the whole village. It would take 6 months to rebuild the whole village at best. At worst, 3 years. Tsunade could only hope that other villages didn't attempt to loot the place. As of now, only Iwa was a threat, as the rest had peace treaties and trade alliances with Konoha. Naruto smiled. "Don't worry, Tsunade Buchon." Tsunade grew a huge tick on her forehead. "What the hell do you mean, don't worry? The whole village has been destroyed." He smirked. The Sodame had set up a steel barrier around the village during its creation to prepare for an invasion. Whenever a user of the barrier activates it, it saves the current design and placement of each and every single thing in the village. Then a Mokon user can then use 4 jutsus to put the village back in place after any form of destruction has occurred, negating it. Unfortunately, was never put to use, as no one until I came along could use Mokoto. How did you know about this?" Tsunade asked, a book shimmering into existence in Naruto's hands. "The history of the Motoki Kekkei Genkai." "What's this title?" Tsunade nodded in understanding. Cries of despair were heard on top of the Konoha monument. The villagers were told that the threat was over and had come out of the evacuation area to return to their daily lives when they notice the damage. Kabubunshun no Jutsu, Naruto announced creating 3 clones. They jumped to each side of the ruins, visible to everyone. The clone nodded before yelling in unison after forming Kanseos. Doton Chinstal, style, Stratium, Sutan, Bakushomo, Mutton, Risu no Jutsu, Wood style, Raw House Jutsu, Makuno Hino Hinjutsu, Jiki Kuton. Then they proceeded to course with Hokage Shuriken Rinsen Hiki Konohakaru Hokage style. Collaboration Hidden Jutsu. Konohakaru. A giant steel array in the shape of a dome surrounded Konoha, lit up protecting it as water and earth covered the land. Restoring its flat shape, next 3 trees and houses sprang out from the ground, restoring the village to its former glory. After a few minutes, it barely looked like the Gendo Monzo had ever came here to wreak havoc. The barrier then disappeared, leaving the villagers gaped at the way the village was destroyed in an hour, then rebuilt within 5 minutes. Then applause rippled throughout the crowd. The villagers cheered for their new hero. At the Hokage's office, you, Yugito, and Kakashi are getting S-rank mission pay for this, Tsunade said, handing over a suitcase of money. Thanks, Tsunade-sama. Naruto said, surprising Tsunade at the formulation. So I finally gained your respect, huh? Well, too bad, because I think you're ready, Tsunade said. Ready? Naruto asked, puzzling, unsure if he had heard her right. Tsunade strode to a wall and removed 2 articles of clothing hanging from it. Draping the cloak and placing the hat on Naruto, she confirmed, Hi, Hokage-sama. I said ready. That is the end of this chapter and this video. Hope you all enjoyed. I know it's a bit shorter, but I have something to do. So, yeah.